Lindsay, and last year I went on a trip with African Adventures as part of a team with UCNL to volunteer at a school in Ghana. Whilst there, I met lots of gorgeous children and took part in construction, painting and teaching. By the end of our week at the school, we had helped to fund and build water taps which provided the students with fresh drinking water, as opposed to drinking from water sachets, which is essentially a heat-sealed plastic bag. And by using these water bottles we donated, this also cuts down on the amount of plastic waste. Between all the volunteers from UCNL, we brought 28 suitcases worth of donations with school supplies, clothes and the water bottles. When we weren't working at the school, we also had the opportunity to visit some amazing places and do some fun activities in our free time, so I hope you enjoy following along and enjoy this adventure as much as I did. As we arrived in Ghana on a Saturday, we spent our first full day exploring Cape Coast Castle, where we learnt all about its history as a slave castle. Good morning from our very first official day in Ghana. It's 20 to 8 and we're heading for breakfast. Checking out the room, the bus is loading. First we're off to the mall, gonna get a SIM card, hopefully. I need to get some shorts because it's far too hot for this. Then a 4-hour journey to our next destination. Before heading down to Cape Coast Castle, we stopped at the mall in Accra, where we changed our money for the trip, picked up SIM cards, and also got some goodies for the 4-hour coach journey to the coast. Cape Coast Castle is one of about 40 slave castles built on the Gold Coast of West Africa. Throughout the 18th century, the castle served as a grand emporium of the British slave trade. Thousands of enslaved Africans, sometimes from hundreds of miles away, were brought to the castle to be sold to British slave ships. So it's 4:30, we've made it to Fort Amsterdam, I think it's called. We've got all the cannons behind us, the cannonballs, lots of photo opportunities. I haven't learnt much about this yet and we have no Wi-Fi and we haven't really had a guide tell us anything, so I will try and find some things out. Once we met up with our guide, we learnt so much more about the castle and its history. Up to 1,000 male and 500 females were shackled and crammed into these poorly ventilated dungeons with no space to lie down and very little light. Our guide demonstrated how dark the dungeons would have been by turning off all the lights. This showed that the only light the slaves had came through these 3 small windows. He also explained that without any water or sanitation, the floor of the dungeons would be littered with human waste, causing a lot of the captives to fall ill. Cape Coast Castle is said to have a door of no return. This is due to the fact that it's the last place every enslaved person walked before boarding the ships that they were eventually sold to.
Left food or anything?
best day in Ghana with a meal by the beach. We've just had a lovely meal, came to a grand total of like £9. I had a cocktail, a Coke, a massive bottle of water, bruschetta, which I didn't finish. So now we're going for a little walk on the beach where the restaurant is. It's 10:30, we're finally in our rooms. We're here for one night. Been a bit of a rough day, been a long day, so we're going to shower, get into bed, enjoy the aircon, because it's our last chance with aircon, and get up bright and early for breakfast tomorrow and go for a jungle trek.
How's she holding all that?
I'm doing my vlogging. You didn't see that.